35 weeks to Madiera. Slightly different video diary this week with a few split up chunks of content from different days with different things that I'm doing. And today is Tuesday and I've just been to my first session with this sprint group that's part of the City of Norwich Athletics Club. You may remember the night before I went to the second indoor meet, I was out on the track and there was a coach there and he said, hey, you need to come and train with us if you're doing the sprints. And this is my first opportunity tonight, so that was really good. I'm currently playing the soundtrack to Tomb Raider by Junkie XL. And yeah, it was really good to be back with a dedicated sprint group doing sprint specific drills. The decathlon training I've been doing has been much broader and diffused between different events and kind of groups and coaches, and that's been really nice. But I've also missed that everyone in the group's moving together and doing the same drills and just repetition and just slotting into the group. So that was really good. A bit of a range of ages, ideally with some older athletes there, but other guys that are similar athletic ability, which is the main thing. So really good sprint out, good run out in the new Nike, that was my throwing shoes, the new Adidas Sprint Star. Coach showed me how to tie them up a certain way to put more pressure or less pressure on the ankles. So I just stuff that sometimes nobody ever tells you. And he gave us a Matt's new mat for some of the floor drills. So we're doing sprint specific drills, floor drills, hip strengthening exercises, all the sorts of things you see online on Instagram of elite athletes doing these. So good to feel like I'm doing some dedicated sprint work, and I informed him that I will be doing 8 sessions over the next 12 weeks that will be dedicated sprint, and as many of them as possible will be with him. So I've set that expectation that I won't be there every week, which is good. And yeah, an overview of what training I'm going to be doing in this next block. So the focus is make the team. The training will be essentially, I'm doing 50-50 between the decathlon, heptathlon with the multi-events and sprinting. So I'm going to do 8 sessions of multi-events, 8 sessions of sprinting, and then I'm going to also do an extra 4 on top of that of hurdles, which will be a bit more technical and might be a bit lighter. So over 12 weeks, those 18 sessions will equate to 1.5 per week. So a step up from the 1 on average that I was doing before Christmas and January. And accordingly, my gym sessions will be going down because I don't have more time or more energy to train necessarily. I will be incorporating at least 1 or 2 kind of warm weather winter training where I'm going to find an indoor track and train indoors, and maybe try and team that up with like a sauna or a spa or something, because I'm not going to spend a week away doing warm weather training in like the Caribbean or the Mediterranean rather, which would more likely to be. So that's going to be a bit tricky. Again, a bit of a mix match, bit of a hodgepodge, a mix and match rather of training. I think that's a good balance in order to do my heptathlon and to also progress with my sprint. A real way that I'm trying to wind back the clock is that I ran a 7:46 PB indoors when I was running for the Ulster University. It really felt like I was back with the Ulster University training group. I ran that in 2020 just before coronavirus, and I want to do the same number of training sessions if I can somehow work out how many I did then here, to see am I in a similar state then, where it's just a case of if I do those number of training sessions I'll get that sort of time, or am I behind that or am I ahead of that, etc. So we'll just have to see how that pans out. I'm really looking forward to that. I'll be updating later in the week as I'm going to be calculating my 1 rep max in the bench press, the squat and deadlift. So to lead into my powerlifting phase, doing the first 4 weeks, a modified first 4 weeks of the Ph3 Program by Lane Norton. More about that later again. It'll be interesting to see where I'm at. I don't know if I can make this Wilks coefficient of 300 time well tell. But until later in the week, peace. Another difficult motivational video. Sitting here in the car trying to get into the gym tonight to catch up on some of these big man on campus completions. So I've got another biceps workout and another 2 calves workouts and another 3 abs workouts, I think. And I've just had a really tiring weekend away and a lot on my mind, but I'm now running behind because I've been ill and things. So the plan is we just go in, get 20 minutes work of just a bro workout, ticking off the boxes, sticking to our goals that we agreed to, getting back on the horse, and we'll get home, get an early night, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. So let's go. So managed to get a bro workout just back in just biceps and abs, no calves, as I might be doing my 1 rep max squat and dead tomorrow. So yeah, a bit dishevelled, a bit tired. I'm here at my favourite spot, looking down the 100-metre track. This is where I sit to go through my goal setting and things like that. And yeah, so what are we up to? I said I was going to be giving a few different updates this week, so in the end it's just been one on the Tuesday. I overdid it on the Tuesday night out on the track in my first sprint session. I should have probably done a half session like I did the Thursday before, but it was a new coach and things, and I guess I was trying to show that I was serious and dedicated and things, which didn't really do it, so I felt run down for the next couple of days, and that really went into the weekend. Again, I pushed it a little bit on Thursday night, and I did another 1,000-metre time trial. So I managed to take 17 seconds off of my 4-minute time from 3 months ago. So that was really, really encouraging. I've done no training for the 1,000 metres or 1,500. That's just been pure aggregate or side hustle of the other training I've been doing. Obviously at the beginning of each of my hypertrophy workouts in the gym, I've been jogging for about 4 or 5 minutes, which would be a similar time but not similar intensity. So that's probably helped as well to some degree. It's a really nice feeling to know that some of these other metrics are getting better along the way without specific focus. That 17-second drop that equates to another 100 points in the heptathlon. So lots of positives. I'm now 2 weeks since I finished the last block. So this is Valentine's weekend, halfway through February. We finished in January, and I've still not really got into my next the next block of training, the next 3 months. One of those was a hot week, and I've had some illness as well, so I'm not too annoyed that I've been sitting on my hands, but I do now feel a bit behind the game. I had a long car journey there for about an hour and a half, and in my mind I planned out how I'm going to get in these 8 sprint sessions and 8 kind of multi-event sessions as well. So what we're going to do is, for the first 5 weeks up until my multi-events competition, I'm going to sprint here every second week, and that's going to allow me to do more decathlon. Then after that I'm going to sprint every single week until the end, when I'll do 100 metres or 200 metres and see where they're at. And it could be the 200 metres actually that it gets us this goal. Hurdles wise, I've got one hurdle session down, and I'm going to do another, at least one, before the indoors, and otherwise I'm going to have to slot in two before the multi-event, which is now 6 weeks away, or 5 weeks away even. And then I'm going to slot another 2 hurdles sessions later, so I'm doing 4 hurdle sessions, and then finally with the decathlon, I said I was going to do 8, so how I've split up is I've already done 1,000 metres. I'm going to do 4 specialist evenings or coaching sessions on pole vault, high jump, long jump and shot in the next 5 weeks before this indoor competition. I'm also going to do 2 warm winter training days where I'm going to go away, probably to the sports barn in King's Lynn, and that's just going to be a joker day. I've got girls hugging over here and making noise. That's going to be a real joker day where I'm going to be able to get in intense recovery. I'm going to be able to get in whatever personal decathlon that I need, and also I'm going to be able to probably get a gym session in as well. Let's see if this gets us a bit more peace. So really needing to use these days.
I'm going to see. Really? Because I'm not actually hungry. I ate so much food. Oh yeah.
I can't hear myself think. I'm going to have to use these days for my advantage, so that I can actually get all the decathlon sessions and all the gym sessions, and that might just be a trick, just 2 days where I get through a gym session, maybe 2 different decathlon events as well. So we'll see. It's going to be tricky in getting these expert coaching sessions. The long jump and the shot I think I can get here in the club. The high jump I'm probably going to try and go down to London and get some and pay for some coaching there. And there's a pole vault session this Sunday in King's Lynn, which I originally thought I'd signed up to, but then the tickets all disappeared while I was still getting transport arranged. So we'll just have to see if I get in on that or not. How am I feeling about my training plans? Obviously it's frustrating to only be doing one more training session in these multi-events before I compete, but that's when the competition's fallen, and I think I'm ready to just get out there and get a mark. There is a bit of emphasis on the sprints, and I'm putting a lot of store in that, so we'll just have to see what comes of that. Maybe this is the last time I focus purely on sprints, so it'll be good to see what a focus training block does, so that at least I've explored that. And if I'm closing that door off and just having sprints as part of my multi-events, then I feel like it wasn't for want of exploring that more. And obviously I'm going to be doing strength and hypertrophy more equally now, whereas in the past it was just hypertrophy with minimal strength components. So I'm not going to see as much maybe muscle growth, but I'm hopefully going to see strength in the gym. So that should be quite motivational. There's also there's a limit to how much hypertrophy you can do before the body gets tired of it and you need to move on and do something else. I'm someone who I overtrain easily or under recover easily, but also I get quite fatigued with the same thing. I think both psychologically, but also I also think neuromuscularly. So that's the plan there, is that this will give me a new burst. So all quite tired here, but onwards and upwards. We've got a plan. We're going to stick to it, and time to go get some R&R.